Should I be that? Should I be 100% honest?
Yes, be 100%
Of course.
honest.
Hockey saved and changed my life.
We absolutely love to see the game of hockey grow, so that's why we couldn't be more excited to have Pato, an assistant captain of the Kenya Ice Lions, join us to talk all about the sport's growth in a very untraditional market. That, plus your Whitecaps and Wild updates, plus we cast more way too early votes for Kaprizov for Calder. All that in episode 58.
Pay homage to the Met Center, Metrodome, Fogarty, or your favorite former Viking. What's up, Randy Moss Mooning? With any of Soda 6 Classics throwback tees. Looking to sip on a different flavor? Check out the McGolden Light Pond Hockey and Fishing Club merch line for that extra Minnesota flavor. Toss down that Bardown Beauties code at checkout for free shipping on all purchases at sodastick.com.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, he just
God
jacked me
damn
open.
it, Fred.
He was
Cut.
waiting on that.
Hello, everybody. The thing that Fred hates the most, but hello, everybody. Hope everyone's doing great. We're back. Another episode. A really, really great guest again this week. I'm super excited to get to him. His attitude and energy is just contagious, so be sure to stick around for
And his
Pato.
laugh.
And his laugh. You love it. You love to hear it. Before we kick off into news stuff, we did want to say, address the Twitter firestorm, if you will, that's been kind of happening surrounding women's hockey as of late. For us here at Bardown Beauties, we're all about growing the game and supporting the game and embracing the good that it truly does for people. Again, our guest is a prime example of that, and our past guests have been examples of that as well. We were thrilled that the NWHL announced the bubble, and we want to keep our eyes on the prize of that in-game action. So that being said, that's kind of all we're going to do to address that subject. Alexis, is there anything else that you wanted to add?
Yeah, like Jesse said, we really want to keep the focus on the positivity of what the season is. It's a short season. We only have so much time to kind of get this in the light and keep the focus where it should be. But I do just want to add on to that, and I know Jesse and Fred feel the same way, that a big part of that story is kind of the online bullying that has happened because of it and that has caused it. And we just want to say that we do not condone that. And I say this all the time to people, like, you know, we're on social media a lot, and we have a presence on social media, and so we see this all the time. But I tell people all the time, like friends and stuff, I'm like, I just don't understand how someone can go on the internet and just decide to like bully somebody that day. Like, what compels you to go on there and just want to be mean to people, whether it's strangers or someone you know loosely or someone you follow because of the work they do? So that to me is the worst part of this whole story. And I just implore you, please do not be that kind of person that goes online and is disrespectful to people. You don't have to agree with what they're saying. If you really don't like them, unfollow them, mute them, get them off of your feed if you don't want to see what they're saying. But there's a lot of people doing a lot of hard work to keep news out there, keep hockey news out there, and bring stories to the light that wouldn't otherwise be there without those people. So be respectful to people online, please. We just want to reiterate that, and that we want to keep the focus of the season where it should be, because there is a lot of really good things happening, which is why I'm in Florida. That's why I have a whole different background set up here. I was worried I might have to resort to going back to the whole floor situation that we had for the first 7 months we had the podcast.
Thank God, no.
But I got a good setup here in my hotel room. And so,
you got the Florida
so
sunshine coming in through your window, looking
Fred
gorgeous.
Said I got to get this going
light.
back at home, too. So I'm going to try to take this light with me and bring it back to Minnesota.
Please do. We'd appreciate the sun here in Minnesota,
so
right?
That's what I'm here in Florida for, is the NWHL season. It's been so we're recording this on Friday. I got to Florida Wednesday night. There was supposed to be games Thursday that got kind of shifted around and then ultimately canceled that day because of some COVID testing that had to go on. Today, this Friday, was a scheduled off day for the league anyway, so there was no games happening today, and games are scheduled to resume as normal Saturday, Sunday. Unfortunately, for those who didn't already see or hear, that the Metropolitan Riveters, because of some positive COVID tests, had to leave the bubble. So they sent the whole team home, which it sucks, but I applaud them for doing the thing to try to keep the players safe, right? They're saying it's not worth it. Hockey is not worth it. Go home, keep yourself safe. So with such a small league it's unfortunate that you take one team out and it really just condenses it even more. But hopefully the rest of these teams can stay safe throughout the remainder of the season. The final game is supposed to be played on February 5th, so at the end of this week that you guys are listening to this. But it's been a really fun, week so far of games and just watching the teams. And for Whitecaps fans, which I'm sure most of the people listening are Whitecaps fans, they have been off to a heck of a start up until this weekend. I don't know how their weekend games are going to go, but as of Friday before, they are the only team undefeated still in the NWHL this season. And they've had some really fun games. If you guys haven't followed along or seen any of them, please go watch some recaps. Go check out some of those highlights because they have not only have they won, but they have had some exciting games. So another week of NWHL hockey. Follow along, tune in because it's going to fly by, and then who knows when it's going to be back. Who knows what kind of season we'll have next year, and what they're going to end up doing just with COVID and everything. So unfortunate that I didn't get to do games as soon as I thought I was going to when I got here to Florida, but games are coming, and then I head back to Minnesota. So.
And people can follow along on Alexis's behind the scenes journey of broadcasting. Yes. If you just want a peek of the sun, of the ocean, of Alexis's feet, if you're into that, I guess that's fine.
It'll cost you.
It's you can follow along on our social media channel. She's doing a great job behind the scenes there. We will dive into some of the predictions you have, Alexis, in this week's Cues with the Beauties. I saw that was a big point of concern or questioning
and segment
this week.
3 are up for the debate. We'll talk about the Whitecaps as well.
Yes.
So we have more coming.
Right, exactly. So we'll have even more Whitecap stuff. Should we pivot to the Minnesota Wild now?
Pivot.
We're going to talk about this before the Colorado Avalanche series, which is probably good because I don't have a great feeling about that.
I'm worried.
But right now the Wild are sitting with a better record than they had last year through their opening game. So let's take that little chunk of positive. They are 5-3-0. They managed to salvage a split with the LA Kings as of late. Don't forget to check out my breakdown of that also on our social media channel. But yeah, good plugs. Follow us on social, guys, for the love of God, please.
Yeah, please.
Subscribe, like, and rate. I think their game against the LA Kings on Thursday was their best we've probably seen all season, right? And that's a testament to Dean Evson finally
juggling the lines. Thank you.
Right? Did you like what you saw from those? I think Jules Eriksson-Ek, definitely now the leading scorer for the Minnesota Wild, earned that spot on the top line. I still have my concerns about the center position with the Wild because it's still not as strong as it needs to be for this league in general. But that was probably my favorite move. Alexis, what about you?
Yeah, I loved that. I loved the line juggling just because to me, line juggling seems such the obvious answer, because if it doesn't work after one shift, switch it back. No one's going to make you keep that line the whole game. You can do whatever you want. So to me, when stuff starts looking like it's not working, I'm like, mix it up right now, or mix it up in time for the next game, or do something different, because no one is going to make you stick with what you had or stick with what you end up switching to. So I love, that was something Bruce Boudreau did a lot. He would do it mid-game. He would juggle the lines. He'd switch it around. He'd bench someone for the rest of the game if they weren't performing how he wanted them to. And I really love that about him. So I love that Dean is starting to do that here. And granted, he's in his first season as a head coach, so he's figuring this out as he goes, right? He might not have all the answers right off the bat. But you saw immediately the results of how line juggling can really change an entire game,
which I think has been missing again.
The biggest missing
piece.
Yes. Yeah, it was paying dividends immediately and through the whole game. And I was actually talking to my dad on the phone earlier today, and he was kind of like, that was a weird game, wasn't it? I was like, it really was. You've got to fight off the opening face-off. You've got the Wild who lead 3-0 after the first period, then take 11 minutes and penalties in the second. You've got 3 really big injuries in the game, all under 3 different and strange circumstances. And it was a weird game. It was nice to see the Wild get the win, especially because, like you said, Jesse, as we're recording this, they're going into some games against the Colorado Avalanche, which are probably going to be their biggest challenge of the season so far, as the Avalanche are just a potent team and have been for a while. And
Alexis will have your preview for that series. Be sure to follow us on social media.
And a breakdown. Follow us on social media. So we'll see what goes forward from here, but it's huge that Jules Eriksson-Ek is getting some points and leading this team in goals, because we've talked about this on the podcast, but he needed to have a breakout season this year. Not even a breakout season, that's the wrong word for it, but he needed to put more points on the board, because he's kind of been that guy where we've been like, when is he going to finally start producing at the level we've been expecting him to? And last year he kind of turned into this agitator, so he kind of everyone let it go because they're like, oh, he's pulled this personality out, that'll work. But now it was like, we need him to score some goals. leads the team. I think it's 5 goals as of Friday that he led the team with. So that is huge that he's producing. Love to see him get that promotion on the lines, and hopefully that sticks and he can continue to produce, because a guy like him putting points on the board is really crucial for the Wild.
You know, I love his approach to the draw too. I mean, faceoffs, they've been struggling, obviously, again, up the middle in general, but he's very reminiscent of Mr. Mikko Koivu, if I might say so myself, who scored in his first game with Columbus, by the way, just so you guys know. Sorry. Congrats, Mikko.
We know, Jesse. It's been rubbed in all of our faces. We know.
No, but I thought he's matured. I think you see a lot of that. I know we talked last week in depth about Jordan Greenway really maturing on and off the ice, and that's shown in his game. Again, he's still looking really strong. I really liked it, you know, not to always go back to this most recent LA game, because not only is it fresh, but it was their best game kind of. I mean, there was still that letdown, like you had mentioned in the second period, when
they tried to lose.
The first 12 minutes had 11 minutes of Minnesota Wild penalty. Part of that due to Kevin Fiala's boarding and 5-minute major and just different situations. But I think Marcus Johansson really shown and showed what he could do. I think his goal was great, naturally, to get things going for the Minnesota Wild. He scored the first goal against LA in that game, but also his passing to Kaprizov. I mean, that was exactly what Bill Guerin had touted him for, was his ability to be a playmaker. And you finally saw that. So again, a testament to Evson's line juggling and to finally try some new guys. I mean, if for whatever reason he was so stuck on keeping certain guys the way they were, and it was tough to break up that Greenway, Eck, and Foligno line without question, because that third line was one of the best defensive units even this year heading in, you know, so it was a very
it's hard to know
line.
When to give up on it, right? Because you put these lines together and you think, okay, it didn't work that game, it didn't work this game, maybe this third game's going to be the charm, right? Like, you don't know when it's finally going to click. Just like you could juggle the lines and it could take a game or two for those lines to really get used to each other. And it's hard on the players to have lines juggled, right? You get used to playing with a certain person and then you get thrown with somebody new. These are professional athletes. They got to learn to adjust to it quickly.
Dean Evson says we're all Minnesota Wild players. You should be able to play with everybody on the Minnesota Wild. So, I mean,
he's
which
100% right. Yeah. And so, you know, you never know. Hopefully this continues to stick. I will say the other thing about that LA game that was huge. The Wild have never, at least in my memory, have never been a team who can score on the rush or on the transition game, right? Like, that is never the Minnesota Wild. They normally don't have the speed for it. They normally, you know, don't have the players for it. That Kevin Fiala goal that came after that whole, like, Kakinen getting tackled and there was that scramble in the defensive zone, and then they turn around and on the ensuing rush, the transition game, he scores a goal. That was huge, just because the Wild normally aren't that team. So I want to see more of that too. There was a lot of really good things to take out of that game that hopefully by the time you guys are listening to this, they applied that against the Avalanche as well and hopefully picked up a win or two.
Yeah.
But if it didn't work against the Avalanche, I hope it works moving forward, because they definitely were doing a lot of things right in that game.
And one more applause for Kaapo Kähkönen, who has really stepped in. Again, he's another player that we'll address more in our YouTube exclusive Qs with the Beauties, as there's some questions surrounding him. Cam Talbot likely to return against this Colorado series. Again, we're recording this on a Friday, so we'll see. But I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Kaapo. I know that was a big thing for me this year, is I wanted to see more of him.
Yeah.
And while it is unfortunate that it's due to injuries to Alex Stalock and to Cam Talbot, I love it, because I think he really is showing that he could be a bona fide starter in this league. And again, we'll talk more in depth about that in our Qs with the Beauties, but I wanted to give a shout out to Kaapo, because I think he's really shown his confidence is legit and he has reason to believe in himself. He made 32 saves against LA, which is a career high for him. And he's just looked pretty strong. A couple softies, but you know, there's a tendency for that to happen. Yeah. Again, a couple defensive letdowns too that led to that. So there's always a trickle effect. And then before we go, Kaprizov probably just have Calder now, or like, what do you, I mean, there's
cancel the rest of the season. It doesn't matter.
Like we might as well. He can do everything. He can hit. He can pass. He can shoot.
Was chef's kiss. I saw that hit coming. I was like, oh, please lay him out. And he just lit into him. And then they cut to the shot of him on the bench and he's smiling. I'm like, yes, that's what I want to see. Put the puck in the back of the net. Hit people. Do it all. Please. Thank you.
Freaking beauty, man. Yes. Like, I am just, and I love, again, we talked about it last week. I love that it's putting so much excitement around Minnesota, right? Like, you're finally not seeing highlight reels scored on the Wild. It's of Kirill Kaprizov scoring or of doing something dangerous with the puck. And I think all eyes are on him for sure. I mean, it would almost be shocking. Again, it's way too early.
Yeah.
But he's going to win the Calder. I don't think Alex Lafreniere is putting up a good enough fight. Challenge Lafreniere. Rangers fans, let's go.
I mean, Kaprizov's like passing game too, he doesn't keep that puck on a stick for longer than like half a second. Like there was in the last series against the Ducks, the one before the Kings series, or was it the Sharks? I don't know. Whoever they played beforehand. There was a series where he kind of was like passing the puck. They were in the offensive zone and he passed it between him and a guy like, 2 or 3 times he had the puck on a stick in that sequence. And he was like, boom, off a stick, boom, off a stick. And I was watching the game with my boyfriend. I was like, that is the sexiest passing I've ever seen in my life. Like the Wild don't do this. You don't understand how exciting this is to watch somebody pass and move the puck like this. So I'm just so excited that, there was a little bit of fear of like, is he going to produce how he was said to produce coming into the league? And I think, he's only got 2 goals on the season so far, but I think everything that we've seen of him, he is doing all of the right things and looks like he wants to do the right things. And so that to me is the most important. I'm so excited to see what he does the rest of the year. And Lafreniere, don't even try. Just don't even bother. Kaprizov's taking the Calder. The Wild are going to have a Calder Cup winner, Calder Trophy winner here on their roster this
Stanley
season.
Cup in 5 years. Said it.
That's
Done.
right.
Boom.
Oh
Frederick,
my God.
what do you got?
Cut that. Bardown Beauties 2026. We're going to release this clip.
Well, it's just really like to see the Wild are having to actually speed up their own game because
Yes.
Cappy is
keep up with him.
absolutely like trying be creative, and the guy's like, whoa, I'm not used to this creativity. I wasn't expecting puck to come across the ice like that. It's there's a big learning curve just to even play with him.
Well, I was just going to say that's, I think, part of the thing that Dean struggled with was like, who do we put with him? Like the easy choice is Kevin Fiala, sure. But that's because he's the only one that kind of gets near his speed, right? I mean, that's a challenge that they have to figure out, and we'll see again that if that means more moves down the road or what. If you can bring
back
else
Jason
in.
Zucker, we need more speed.
But we want to score on the break.
Pittsburgh, hello, anybody on the phone?
Don't do the wraparound. Please don't
geez.
do the wraparound.
Sorry, cut that out.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for our hockey news to begin with. Again, I want to also give a shout out to everybody that purchased those Bardown Beauties jerseys from Soda Stick. I love seeing the photos coming in. So if you purchase one, feel free to share those photos of you out and about. Shout out to the Fab Five, who I know rocked them at the Blake game the other night. Shout out to everybody that purchased them. So thank you so much for that continued support. Shout out to Soda Stick for doing a phenom job with the look of those. They look pretty sick. So appreciate that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, this is producer Fred. Gentlemen, I want to take a moment and talk about your hedges, about your rough, your fairway, your greens, your front lawn, and backyard. Is it manicured enough to improve your overall curb appeal? Well, we want to introduce you to our new partner, Manscaped. Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. They just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Waterproof for shower trimming, a premium battery and charging station. Manscaped has you and your sensitive areas covered. Get 20% off and free shipping when you use code BEAUTS at checkout. That's 20% off and free shipping when you use code BEAUTS, that's BEAUTS, at checkout.
We're back. Joining us now all the way from Nairobi, where it is 10 o'clock at night. God bless you. I would be in bed and say no to any podcast. But we appreciate you being a night owl for us. Assistant Ice Lions captain and roller hockey aficionado, Pato. Pato, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Hello. I'm saying hello to the whole world.
Yes, exactly. All the hockey fans here that are so eager to hear about hockey in Kenya. I mean, where do we even begin? I mean, when were you introduced to hockey, and how did you become introduced to hockey? Because certainly it is a very niche sport here in North America, but I imagine around the world too.
Yeah, sure. I got introduced to hockey when I was before I joined campus. First I was introduced to skating, and then the same I was introduced to hockey while joining campus in my first year.
Okay, so you've been doing this for a couple years now. You're basically a pro of that.
We're still learning on a daily basis. We still have to learn.
Well, 2012, you've been doing it for, a handful of years now. So you've gotten to do, I'm sure, a lot of cool things, and you've gotten to experience the best parts of hockey so far. What is your favorite thing about hockey? Is it playing? Is it winning? Is it wearing the jersey? You were showing us the jersey before we started recording. What is the best part of hockey for you?
hockey is like a life. You have to feel it from the goalie, the defenseman, the forwards. Like it's like a food chain. The puck has to go around and just come back round. You guys have to get comfortable, enjoy the game for you guys even to win. So for me on my side, it's like us playing as a team and the coordination between all of us just to win. That's all. That all makes hockey amazing to me.
I love that. How many members are on your team right now? I know it's kind of just starting to take hold, but there's been a lot of viral sensation from Canada to the US and a lot of support and excitement around you guys. How many players are playing now and how many started out with you in 2012? How much has it grown?
Way, it has really grown. Cause like back then when we were starting, we didn't have kids playing. It was just the big guys, and they were like, I don't know, eight guys. But right now the number is uncountable because I've not even been able to count how many kids and the youngsters who have gotten interested and have joined to play the sport. They Unless I get to do a count, then I come back and like say because there were one, two, three, four, but there's so many, and I like it.
I like that you can't count the number, frankly. I mean, that's a promising thing. It's obviously more than 8, and I think it's perfect that you can't. There's too many to count, right?
Yeah.
So did you, you've been playing since 2012, but, I don't know how much hockey you've been able to watch over the time that you've been playing hockey or even before then. Is there any hockey players that you've really liked to watch or any hockey players you try to play like when you get to play hockey? Or are you just trying to play like you?
Ovechkin.
Ovechkin.
No. Number 8 Ovechkin, Alex. I love the guy. He's my he's my small god there because in hockey, cause he just plays amazing. He just he's just amazing. Then the way he just like plays with the whole team, then he just nails it right. To
Alex
me,
Ovechkin. He's
Ovechkin.
famous everywhere. Everybody loves Ovechkin. Doesn't matter if you're in Canada, America, or Kenya. Alex Ovechkin is a superstar, right?
Yeah.
That's certainly one of the great. But do you have an office like Ovechkin? Ovechkin sets up in his office, and that's where he shoots from. Do you have a spot on the ice just like him, where you're out there being Ovi?
Yeah, number 17 forward to the left.
I love it. I want to see that. You had mentioned kids. Kids are getting more involved there. How are you guys encouraging the kids to come out and play, or what are the process of introducing them? I know you guys only have one sheet of ice, which I imagine makes it a little bit more challenging. But I mean, talk about the promotion to the youth there in Nairobi.
Yeah, kids have been coming like to the Panari Ice Skating Center, and Ben, Ali, Robert also they've been welcoming the kids. The biggest part I've played with the kids, it's like trying to train them and how to do things, how to encourage them to play better, to sharpen their skills, and we're just moving step by step. We're going to get there someday. That's the biggest thing in my heart because we started from the bottom. Now we're here. We didn't have anything like to play with right now, and
So now you're at the point where you're teaching, people how to play hockey as well. What was the hardest part about learning how to play hockey for you? I know for a lot of people, I think learning how to stop is one of the hardest things to do on skates. Was that the hardest for you, or was it something else that was really challenging when you were learning?
Hey, to me the list is countless. Like let me use my fingers. Like one was to stop, to use the outer edge and the inner edge. How to make a slap shot and a good shot. The list is endless. Let me number 4. Another thing I struggled with hockey was control and being comfortable on the ice. Control and being you just enjoying you moving around and you so comfortable. That was the best part also that I learned. It was so much of a struggle. Then while I started playing hockey, I was a bit chubby and I was kind of slow. Let me just say that.
Hey, it's honest. You're being honest. There you go. I love that.
I was chubby, like had chubby cheeks, And then like this guy used to make fun of me because I was the worst rookie in the sport. Because the worst rookie in the sport, but I made it good. Just practice, just believe, and we're just making steps, and we're on the right path. And right now, I'm a bit better. Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give myself a 6. I have still so much still to work on, but I'm good. And we started from the bottom now.
We're gonna make that your theme song, I think. Where that's got to be the theme song for this. You know, I think your smile and your excitement for this is just so freaking contagious. I absolutely love it, Pato. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. You know, you mentioned you started at the bottom. Now we're here, but I mean, there's room to keep going up. What are some next steps that you want to see for hockey in Nairobi and Kenya and really all around the world? What would you love to see happen for your squad and for the game in your country?
You've touched. You've touched. Is it a saw? Like I would really like to play against like foreign players, like from different countries who are doing it like who are playing pro. For like as compared like when we play amongst ourselves and with guys who come and join. Yes, they get to teach us, but they don't put like the spark. You know how hockey is. Hockey is fast. Hockey is aggressive. Some punches fly from time to time, and you get hit so bad, like shit. You didn't see me, like sorry. But he's laughing, and you're like, dude, you just did that on purpose. It's hockey.
Exactly. That's what we always say. That's hockey, man. That's hockey. What do you do about it, right?
Don't complain. Just find the right time and hit me hard.
Who are you guys? What opponents are you facing now? Then you had mentioned you want to get the competition rolling. I mean, how are games kind of set up, or what's the competition look like for you guys as it sits presently?
Currently, at the moment, we did the best we're doing right now. We're just playing against ourselves, and to make all this happening, we're learning new skills to better our skills. So even if someone else comes, we're building on gas. We're just doing the most of the skills that are relevant, that are easily needed, and we need to polish. That's what we're still working on.
Yeah.
So what about what advice would you give to younger kids who want to play hockey, maybe in a country, in a place like Kenya where it's not as common and there's not as many opportunities to play hockey? What would you say to people who grew up in the same position as you, who want to play hockey just like you as well?
Should I be 100% honest?
Yes, be 100%
Of course.
honest.
Hockey saved and changed my life. Were it not for hockey, I don't think I would have graduated campus. Were it not for hockey, I think I could be high on drugs right now as we speak. Were it not for hockey, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So hockey is life to me. And
I love it. I love it so much. That's so wonderful. Because I think that's felt by everybody that loves hockey, whether you play, whether you're a fan. I mean, right? It's so easy just to see the impact that it truly makes on everyone's lives. And it's wonderful to see that doing it for you. Have you been a part of the Friendship League too? I know we had Alex Freak on, who is our Minnesota kind of representative, who shared the Friendship League with us. Is that something that you've been a part of yet? Or can you tell us anything about the Friendship League and Kenya's involvement there?
Whoa, the game was dope. Wow, the game was dope. Then it was just amazing. After the game, then we just had to chill out. We shared some food. We taught them about ugali and how to put the greens inside. It was among the best times we had. Hockey, then just sitting down and chilling with the guys who were challenging you. Wow, and then we won the medal. We lost, but let them come. We're ready to rumble.
Bring it on again. Is that what you're saying? Like, let's go. We're ready. The gauntlet's officially been thrown, Alex, in the Friendship League. So you heard it here first from Pato and Nairobi. He's ready. You're ready to go.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Well,
Oh,
I've got one final question. The one of my favorite parts of hockey is watching people celebrate when they score a goal. And there's a lot of different ways that you can celebrate when you score. Do you have a certain way that when you put the puck in the back of the net, you are celebrating?
Ovechkin style. Hold the
Oh.
we should have known. I
Yeah.
realized we should have guessed
I don't
that,
even
right?
know
Like
why
there
I
was going to
asked,
be
of
some
course.
movie influence.
Well, he scores a lot, so you have a lot of times to learn to how to get it just right?
Definitely.
How much of a dream would it be to see the Stanley Cup? Or would you, all right, so which would be more exciting for you? Actually, let me ask you this. Would it be more exciting to meet Alex Ovechkin or to see the Stanley Cup?
Ovechkin. Ovechkin.
There wasn't really
Jesse,
even a
you
pause
knew that.
there. There
He
wasn't
loves
really-
Ovechkin. We've already established this. Yeah.
This is our official
I'm
call
also
out.
trying to grow up here.
There you go.
He's
There
going
you
for
go.
the Ovechkin celly, the Ovechkin beard. He's got it all down.
Exactly.
And then the Stanley Cup after that.
It's in your cards. It's in your cards for sure. Well, awesome, Pato. Again, thank you so much for joining us. This was awesome. I am so excited for hockey growing. I'm so excited the impact that it's made for you. And certainly if there's ever anything that we can do from our end, we'll have to hook you up with a Bardown Beauties jersey or something too. I mean,
Yeah.
let's show off the Kenya Ice Lions
Yeah,
jersey,
show
the
'em the
practice
jersey. Come on,
first.
show 'em the
Let's
jersey.
see that.
Here it is for our YouTube watchers. It's
This
pretty
is for
cool.
practice only. This is for practice only.
For practice, yep. Number
Yeah.
17.
Tour number 17. That
The
was
front
my
is my favorite. The lion on the front is really cool. There we go.
That's sick.
Yep.
What a beauty. And now for everybody listening, you guys can go purchase an Ice Lions official jersey, which helps toward their operational costs. Definitely give that a look. They're sick jerseys. My husband and I were talking last night about buying one. And again, you go to support the game and everything to help it grow in Kenya. So that's very exciting. Again, Pato, thank you so much for joining. I'm excited to see you. Hopefully, if you ever come this way, look us up. We'll play a pickup game with you.
Yeah.
Neither of us are very good. So
You'll
we're
probably
totally
beat
in.
us.
Just tell us the date and the time. We'll come ready to rumble.
Let's go, baby. We'll do it. Thanks again so much. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Calling all Beauts, our Bardown Beauties Teespring line has everything to help make you an official Beaut. Whether it's waking up with a hot cup of coffee from a Bardown Beauties mug, rocking our Land of 10,000 Beauts crew neck, or tossing an official logo on your water bottle, we want to make you an official part of our team. So support the Beauts with the purchase. Go buy something right now. Love you guys.
We back. Thanks again to Pato and the Kenya Ice Lions. That was so fantastic. Like I get like just the warm fuzzies because I love this sport so much. And truly that's why I work with the entities and love to tell the stories that we do either on the podcast or in writing, because I honest to God, you guys believe in like growing the game and really enjoying it. And Pato, you know, when he had mentioned it saved his life, like that's phenomenal. Like you love to hear those stories. And that's what any sport can do, really. I mean, you hear about it time and time again, but to know hockey's a part of that. And again, we all know how special the community is, how special this game is. So it was just really cool to hear from somebody around the world that is in, to say the least, a very non-traditional hockey market, embrace the game. And let's get over there, guys. Like I want to go
so
do
bad.
it. I know.
do it.
Fred's already looking up flights. He's trying
Seriously,
to figure
how
out.
much does it cost?
Anybody want to sponsor us to send us to Kenya?
Send the Beauts
let
to
us know.
Kenya.
Keep buying that merch, guys. That's getting us there. That's what that's doing. So
We'll
again,
put it in the
thanks.
Kenya Travel Fund.
Yes, thanks to them. Be sure you guys check them out and support them any way you can, as we will be doing. We'll be sure to share links as they come along. So let's get into our final segment here. Up for debate this week. We kept with the scoring theme because, you know, I'm into the
We had to cover the two
power.
home teams. Yeah, we got to get them both under our belts. Yeah.
So our Whitecaps, who will be the leading scorer? Jonna Curtis, Allie Thunstrom, or Haley Mack? Alexis, you went with Haley.
I went with Haley, which is so sorry, Allie Thunstrom. Everyone knows I love her so much, and she's my favorite women's hockey player right now.
Bardown
But
Butte.
she is. She episode like 6, I think. She was on pretty early on, fresh off practice. She's an awesome person, awesome hockey player. So it was really hard for me to pick against her, but when we put this tweet out, Haley Mack had already had 2 goals on the season. So who knows what she'll have at the point you guys are listening. And they were game winners. They were huge goals. So, I mean, I love the way that she's played so far. And coming in your rookie season in such a weird season, right? I mean, you've got this condensed season. It's non-traditional. You're playing in a bubble. You're in a new league with new players. I mean, there's a lot, to consider when you think about these rookies coming in this season. So I have kind of been lenient with looking at rookie stats and how they've played, because I'm like, it's just such a weird season. I feel like I can't hold them to the super high standard that you normally expect out of rookies. But I've just been so impressed with the way she's played. And the thing that's, I think, impressed me the most is the Minnesota Whitecaps have some of the best scorers in the league on their team. So the fact that she's standing out in a team where you've got players like Allie Thunstrom and Jonna Curtis and Audra Richards, who are so good at putting the puck in the back of the net, that to me, I think, was what sold me on it overall, was just that she's playing with such talented players, and is still standing out is just huge. So I would love for her to have a great rookie season here, to help the Beauts, or not the Beauts, the Whitecaps. The Beauts are a team in the league.
Please don't help the Buffalo Beauts
don't help the
to do
Buffalo
anything.
Beauts.
Yeah.
Help the Whitecaps to another Isabel Cup championship would just be awesome. But obviously would love to see Allie and Jonna score some goals as well. So what do you say, Jesse?
Because I don't like to be the same. I mean, I love everything that comes along with a rookie really coming in, right? But I'm a big fan of Jonna Curtis. I know she was a newcomer back in 2018, 19.
Yep.
And she's been a top scorer on this team since she joined. So I kind of like that. And because I love Allie and we've given all this love to Allie, I thought we'd mix around the love.
Spread it out.
A little bit. Yeah, like no discredit. I mean, at the end of the day, you need everybody to score and everybody to contribute. So I don't care who leads it as long as somebody's leading that charge. And I'm not at all concerned about the Whitecaps' offensive capabilities. They know how to score. You've got very, very talented, very, very skilled players on that team that, I mean, it could be anybody really. I mean, there's Audra Richards you had mentioned too. She's another one that I think is just fantastic. So
there was a tweet that was put out after, I think, the second game of the season. Someone had tweeted the NWHL like overall stats for the season, and they were like, Audra Richards is leading in scoring. There was like 7 people who had 3 points, but they had her picture at the top, and they were like, Whitecaps fans, Audra Richards is leading in the NWHL. I was like, love that for her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be anybody on that team. They've got a lot of really powerful scorers and skaters. So hopefully they're all putting the puck in the back of the net. We'll see.
Everybody put the biscuit in the basket, guys. That's all you got to do. We'll have more Whitecaps in our YouTube exclusive Cues with the Beauts. Be sure to go check that out. That's going to do it for this week's episode. Again, shout out to Soda Stick, our presenting sponsor. Shout out to Manscaped, keeping you fresh and clean. Be sure to use codes Beauts for Manscaped, 20% off. Be sure to use Bardown Beauties at Soda Stick for free shipping. Also, shout out to Pato. And again, the Ice Lions. Can't thank them enough for taking the time. And shout out to all of you, Beauts. We really appreciate all the support, love. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, share, keep us growing. We're into this. We're diving into the season. We love it. We want to keep content coming to you. Some exciting stuff coming ahead. So be sure. And final shout out to Talk North, where you are listening to this likely. So appreciate them and the support they provide. That'll do it. We'll be back next week. Have a good one. Ah!